Just under a month ago, we received our latest update regarding the future of the WRC games, which is the fact that EA and Codemasters will no longer be developing future WRC games from this point onwards. And now about half an hour ago, as I'm recording this, we have now received official confirmation on who will be developing the next WRC games, with Nacon being confirmed as the latest WRC game developer starting from 2027 and until at least 2032. For the last month or so, since it was confirmed that EA and Codes will no longer be developing the games, we were starting to speculate and forming ideas on what the future of the games will look like, and now with this information we can now start to form some thoughts and opinions about this. I'm going to try to keep this video fairly short, so today we're going to quickly go through how we got to the point that we are right now, who Nacon are and why they have been chosen, and also give my general thoughts on what I think of this and how I think the future will look like. Before we go any further, if you enjoy any of my videos at any point, then don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as well, and also make sure to hit the bell button to be notified of future videos, and also make sure to follow me on all my other social media profiles. So now let's talk about the future WRC game. Now before we talk about who are going to be developing the next WRC game and what I think of it, we need to quickly talk about how we got to the point that we are right now first. Now I did already go in detail about the EA Codemasters update in a previous video, so check out that video if you haven't, but to cut the long story short, in 2023 EA and Codemasters released their first officially licensed WRC game together, and over the next 18 or so months they continuously updated the game, added new DLCs including 2024 season content and a few more extra rallies and stages and so on and so forth. And then just under a month ago it was announced that EA and Codemasters will no longer be developing the future WRC games from this point onwards. Now no official reason was given as to why this is, but from what I can tell, from what I can see from others and from my experience, I think one of the reasons why is that the expectations for this game weren't really hit, and although this game is pretty alright, the many badness that this game does have was kind of enough, it looks like, that it wasn't worth in the WRC's eyes to continue working with EA and Codemasters. But like I said, go give that video a watch if you want a slightly more in-depth look on that situation. But now that we have established roughly on how we got to this point, now let's actually talk about who are going to be developing the next WRC game. And the group of people at Nacon have been chosen to develop the next WRC game starting from 2027 and until at least 2032. Now Nacon are a French video game publisher, and although hearing the name first you may be thinking, who? And I also had the same thought when I read the name first. However, although not all of you may be familiar with Nacon, you may be familiar with one of the companies that are owned by Nacon. Kiloton were the people responsible for developing pretty much all the WRC games before EA and Codemasters. So WRC Generations, WRC 10, WRC 9, and pretty much all games beforehand, the official WRC games, were developed by Kiloton, which are owned by Nacon. And the info I just gave you right there is probably one of the bigger reasons as to why Nacon have been chosen. They have a lot of experience developing the WRC games, and they roughly know what is needed. Now with the information that I have just given, and after having also seen other people's opinions online, I have slightly mixed thoughts now on this. On one hand, having Nacon as the next developer almost seems like a no-brainer. They have previous experience developing the WRC games, they've developed the WRC games for a pretty long time, so they know the do's, the don'ts, and roughly know what they're doing. Apart from a very small handful of hours on WRC 9, I don't really have a lot of experience on the Kiloton WRC games compared to EA WRC, so I can't really say fully 100% from my view if the Kiloton games are better than the EA one. But from what I've read online, it seems like that the Nacon situation is not all sunshine and rainbows. Now from what I can understand, it seems like that when Kiloton were developing the WRC games, every game they developed, each game got better and better and better and closer to a sim-esque experience. However, around WRC 8, they seems to have hit some kind of impossible chicane, and every game afterwards was pretty much a copy-paste of the previous, though with a few minor visual changes, and WRC Generations, well, was a bit of a flop. So although not everybody is on board with the idea of Nacon developing the next game, I do hope that the next WRC game will be a really good one, because although EA WRC was a pretty good game, I do feel like that there was a lot more in it that was not fully explored, and I do hope that Nacon, with their previous experience on the WRC games and with feedback from the fans, drivers and so on, I hope that the next WRC game, which will be developed in 2027, will be a really good one. So that's been a quick rundown about the latest update about the WRC game's future. I know this video was a short one, however this was literally announced like less than an hour ago. Not so much information is available out there, and plus I just kind of wanted to get this video done quickly, some quick thoughts on this, get it done quickly, not really delay it too much, and well, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think about this latest update, and let me know what you think about Nacon developing the next WRC game. If you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed any of my previous videos, then don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as well. Make sure to hit the bell button to be notified of future videos. Follow me on all of my other social media platforms as well. So until next time, goodbye.